Did you really think that I wouldn't build an iron farm this season? Did you really think that Tango wouldn't build a massive iron farm? Seriously, guys, really? Come on. Is that the thought going through your head right now, huh? Oh, he's not going to build an iron farm this season. Please. Tango without an iron farm? That's like Mumbo without the spoon. That's like B-dubs without the NHO. These things just cannot happen. They do not happen. So, you all want to see me build a Titan? Huh? You want to see those golems raining down from the sky? Huh? You want to see iron everywhere filling double chests up? Huh? Is that what you want? It ain't gonna happen. I'm not doing it. I'm not building a Titan this season, alright? No way, no how. But instead, you are just gonna have to make do with the brand new self-resetting iron farm I just designed last week. Is that gonna cut it? Is that gonna work for you guys? Huh? Is that gonna work? Yeah! Excellent. Here we go. Who is ready? I know I am. Are you ready? Are you ready? What about you over there? You? How about you? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because what we got the beginnings of here is a brand new iron farm design that I've been working very hard at all last week. I think I put about maybe 15 or 20 hours into this thing. Finally got all the timings done and everything, and I'm super, super excited to show you guys how this thing works, what it does, and what kind of features it's got and everything. Obviously, what we have right here so far are just some basic door spawning pads, okay? So, for this episode, and probably next episode too, what I want to do for a little change of pace here, because there is no tutorial on this farm or anything yet is the key word, I want to really go in detail about the process of designing this farm, all the decisions I made, why everything the way it is, and just really go into how iron farms are made, some of the technology and science behind it, and really try to educate a lot of you guys on what the process is and how this all works. Because I know a lot of you guys are really curious, and there's some hidden voodoo magic here that not many people know about, and I want to share the love. It's about time. So if you're the type of person that doesn't really care about iron farms or how they're designed or how they work, might be time to tune out. But if you are interested, then stick by, because this is going to be some pretty good stuff, I think. I'm really excited. So, let's see. There's going to be a lot of cuts, a lot of jumping around and stuff here. But for starters here, I will show you the spawn pads. Nothing special about them, really. You'll see I got some slime and some pumpkins there, okay? The slime are there because they are blocks that allow light to pass through, in the sense that they're considered to be translucent by the game, and sky access will go through. You'll hear me talk a lot about sky access coming up here, and slime blocks allow that to go through. So doors need sky access to form correct village doors and all that stuff. We'll get into all that later. And the pumpkins are there to light up both layers, but to also have a block that you can place a door on. So good stuff there. We've got overhangs here, 5 blocks on either side. We'll go into all that. And some empty spaces in the middle there. In the middle here, this is going to be the spawn area. Obviously, it's not going to be another brick or another rack. I just kind of temporarily outlined it here. Now, it's going to be... There's two ways you can do spawn floors. There's a kind of the simple, you know, flat slabs with water pushing them toward the middle and stuff. And then there's the kind of more advanced way that is supposedly a lot more efficient, where you actually spawn them inside a block and then push them through with water that's kind of funneling through the blocks. I think we're going to do the more advanced one only because I've never done that before. I'm still a little skeptical on how much of a difference it makes, but we'll do it just for science this time, I think. So yeah, there we have it. This is going to be, like I said, the spawning area here. It's going to go down, I don't know, like another 6, 7, 8 blocks down below. So the way this is going to work is the villages. So over there, they're going to start over there. There's going to be a big, tall tower over here, which we're going to build pretty soon. So the villages over there, starting at that slice right there, there's 11 doors there. So every one of these things has 11 doors on it. And the idea is you need at least 21 doors to spawn golems. So we're going to do 22 just to keep it symmetrical. So there's 11 over there and 11 on these slices over here. That first slice over there is going to merge up with the far slice over there. And going all the way down from in this direction is going to come all the way down in this direction. So this slice here is going to merge up with that one over there. So what we're going to get is a nice central pattern here where all the villages' center point are going to be right here on this torch. All right, so while I am setting up some temporary doors here for a future explanation, I want to mention that this iron farm is a resetting design. So it's going to be, with the push of a button, it will recreate all 64 villages, create them, position them, combobulate them, get them all into place, like right centered on that torch there so that the golems can spawn in this area. There's basically two types of iron farms out there. I mean, my last one, as you guys probably know, is the Iron Titan. Is not a self-resetting one. It had to absolutely be built in the spawn chunks. If it didn't, it wouldn't work. So, benefits, it was, you know, it would work 24/7. It would always be producing iron. The downside, though, is, you know, it wasn't really usable or buildable by everyone because it didn't have access to the spawn chunks. Obviously, if the villages merged, you were kind of screwed. So, I've been wanting to build a resettable one for quite some time now. And here we go. I'm pretty excited about this. And this is kind of the more friendly and easy to build design for anyone, really. So the goal with this design was I wanted it to be the easiest and cheapest 64 village resettable iron farm. Hopefully, I've achieved that. So, a little bit of the science I was talking about. What I want to do is cover what an actual village is, how it's made, how it's positioned, all that stuff. Just so everyone can be on the same page here and you guys can hopefully get a better appreciation for how these things actually work here. So, let's see. All right, a village is basically nothing more than a bunch of doors, okay? You get a door down. Once it's registered as a correct village door, which I'll get into in just a second, it's added to a village. If there's not one nearby, it'll create a new one. Now, every village has a center point, and the center point is the kind of the average position of all the doors in that village. So in this case, if there's only 2 doors in this village, the center point would be kind of like right in the middle here, all right? But if I added another door to the village, like, well, that was a bad one, honestly, like, well, say we do that, okay? Now the average position, because there's 3 over here and only 1 over there, is going to be like really pretty much like over here or something. So adding doors can really, you know, change it can pull a village into new positions. Like if I add that one way down there, because it's so far, it's going to pull the average position of the doors way to like over here somewhere. I don't know, I'm guessing at this point because there's 3 close together there, but 1 really far over there, so the average would be like around here somewhere. Now, for a door to be added to a village or to create a new village, there's a couple things that need to happen. The first one, and obviously the most important, is a villager has to be in range to see that door. And I use the word see in quotes there, okay? Because what a villager does is every so often, every like 4 to 6 seconds or 3 to 6 seconds, I know it's up to 6 seconds, he does a scan around him. It does 16 blocks in the X and Z direction, but only 4 up and down in the Y direction to look for doors. And basically, if there's a door that's not part of a village and it meets the other criteria, which I'm going to cover in a second, it will be added to the nearest village or it'll create a new one, like I said. So if there was a villager, I don't know, if we had like a door here, but the villager was way down over here, which is like almost 32 blocks away, he wouldn't see that door, and that door would never be added to a village. But as soon as we add, you know, Bob, the netherrack villager right here, he's going to scan this area and be like, ha! I see a door, I'm going to add it to a village. Alright, so we got that down. Now, the other criteria for a door to be added to a village is kind of a little bit more confusing one that a lot of people don't know about. And it's got to do with the blocks above a door. A lot of times you'll hear me talk about sky access, okay? What that means is, given the way that door is facing, like this is an east-west facing door here. This right here is obviously a north-south facing door because that is north right there. what it does is it scans out 5 blocks in either direction from the door, not including the one that it's on, okay? Not including that one. So 5 out that side and 5 out this side. And it basically says, hey, from this base position here, am I completely unobstructed all the way to the sky? Can I see the sky? And a solid opaque block will block that. But in the case of can't really see, but the slime blocks, they do not block sky access, which is great because you can still place doors on them. They're kind of the magic sauce there, right? Glass obviously does not block sky access, so there's a bunch of blocks that don't, but most of the blocks you're dealing with, even like half slabs block sky access. As long as it's opaque and it blocks light, it's going to block sky access. Now the way for a door to be considered an actual possible village door, obviously the villager has to see it, is it counts the number of sky access blocks in either direction here, okay? So this is why I kind of did these things here. So if I do one right there, okay? On this side over here, it has 5 blocks. Because again, remember, it doesn't count the one on top of it. It's got 5 blocks that have sky access over here. And over on this side, it has 3. Because these 2 blocks are opaque, obviously, and blocking sky access. Now, then compares both sides. And if the numbers are not equal, it doesn't care which one's bigger. Just if the numbers are not equal, it says, okay, you're a valid village door. So in this case, this is a valid village door here because it thinks this is covered and this is like the inside over here. However, if I just do that, it is now not a valid village door because it's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. Again, if I do that and that, you know, even though it's not symmetrical, that is not a valid village door because there's 1 block on this side and 1 block on this side blocking sky access. And again, this one, the one directly the door is in, does not count. So that's why we have these like big overhangs here, okay, which you can't see really well. Let's see if I can hop over here. Over here now you can see down in there, okay, we have these blocks. There's 5 blocks overhanging over there and 5 blocks overhanging over there. That's the block sky access. So the only way to get sky access is right there in those 2 blocks there. And we're going to have like a nice little cool piston system that's going to open up and allow sky access, which is going to allow all those 11 doors in that line to all become valid village doors just by those 2 blocks opening up. Okay, now that we got a little bit of that science out of the way, let's get back to building this thing. I want to make some more progress here. So as you can see here, we have this, I guess I lied. It's a 3 block gap here, not 2. But the 2 blocks above the slime blocks here are the ones that we're really caring about here. These are the ones that we're going to grant sky access. So we need a way to, with a redstone contraption of some kind, which we'll get into in a second, which is really cool, we want to, on demand, reveal these 2 blocks in one slice. When I say a slice, I mean like across this way, because there's the 11 doors there. So we're going to go something like this. I'll just do a little cross-section of it here. We're going to do that, we're going to do that, we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. And I'm putting these chiseled blocks there so I can talk about those specifically, because they're kind of the fancy blocks like in this case. So what we're going to do is make a system that pushes at the same time that block that way and that block that way. Now, the key here, as you know, or as you may know, is pistons are transparent. They let light through. So once we have a system here, let's see, give me some of these guys there. We're going to put these guys back here, okay? So in this state, there is no sky access anywhere because there's an opaque block there, there, and there, okay? Again, they don't have to be on the same, you know, level. There could be a block 50 blocks up that blocks sky access, which is something we're actually going to take advantage of. So this is the closed position here. What we need now is a way for, let me see if I can do it here. We're going to do that guy there, hop over here, and get some redstone dust on this guy here now. So when those pop open, that block's going to go over there, that block's going to go over there, and you're going to have just 2 pistons here, which are going to both allow sky access. These are pretty cool stuff. Alright, so we can just break this one here. And I'll put a lever here now. Now, if I did this right, I should pop this guy. And, of course, well, that was dumb because I don't want to do all of them. I want to just do the one that we're on here. We'll just do this. No, I'm being stupid now. Hang with me. Once in a while, I actually know this stuff. Trust me. Okay, and there. Okay, so now that pushes that 1 block over. And because of the repeater there and the little power source behind it, that could obviously be a torch or whatever, it pushes the other one back. This just stays on all the time. It's a permanent. This could be a redstone block, a torch, a redstone torch, whatever. But now once this is unpowered, they both close up again. So that's the general, the pattern there is the chiseled blocks are the ones that move out of the way. leaving just the pistons there to grant sky access. So let me go ahead and build this all the way down by taking these guys, and I'll build it on both sides here, because this whole platform is essentially mirrored on the other side over there with the whole contraption we're about to build here. So let me take these all the way down, and we'll go from there. All right, super amazing piston extendinator mobobulators are in on both sides. Looking good, looking good. I do like them. So what we need now is a way to obviously open up each one of these slices by incrementing this redstone signal on demand, like just a redstone incrementer. I guess that's what I just said, but yeah, that. So what we got here is what I think is one of the coolest parts of this whole iron farm design here. This is part that I think is really, I don't know, it's slick, it does what it needs to do, and it does it fairly cheap. So a lot of iron farms out there that have these pistons, like I didn't invent this double piston thing here. Many resettable farms use this, but most of them out there use these hopper chains, okay? Like hoppers that basically form a big loop, 32 down, loop all the way back, 32, and actually goes a little bit more, but I mean, that's 128 hoppers you need to build this farm. Not exactly resource friendly when you're just getting started. So that was one of the big things I wanted to improve upon, was to get this whole incrementer system done in a much more just redstone-y way, not hoppers and items and stuff. The hopper stuff works great, but it's just super expensive. So that's what we got here. This little wonder gem, which kind of puzzled me at first, and I figured it out, and it's pretty awesome. I found this thing online and made a few tweaks of it on my own to get it to do pretty much what I wanted to do. What we've got here are two droppers facing into each other, okay? This one, now this is, I guess what you could say is the minor downside to this. It does have to have the whole inventory filled up here, but, you know, who ain't got a bunch of cobble laying around, whatever, I don't know, dirt, whatever you want. Just throw a bunch in there that's going to generate a signal length of 15, and if you take one out, it's going to generate a signal length of 14. That's all you need there, okay? So you can see here we got two comparators on subtract mode, kind of looping into each other, causing this like comparatorception thing going on here, which is really weird. This one has a torch, not a torch, one of those a lever behind it, obviously just pulling 15 power straight into this thing all the time, full power, okay? Now this guy, because he's got the 15 or the full stack of items in it, is pushing 15 out as well, okay? So that's why we get this guy pulling 15 out, subtracting into this side over here, which is 15, so you get a 0 signal over here. As you can see, this guy's totally off here, okay? We've got a comparator under that block right there, reading this guy here, okay? Now this is the cool part, if you ask me. What we do now is we're going to press this button here, okay? It's going to power this block, which is going to take an item from this dropper and spin it over here, okay? And then 2 ticks later, this guy's going to power him, and it's going to push it right back, okay? So you just get a real quick tick, tick. The item goes over and comes back. In that time that it does that, though, this guy is now obviously reading a 14, okay? So now you have a 15 from the back here minus a 14. I'm sure you guys all know how comparators work, right? And you get a signal length of 1 right there, okay? So we get a little one little dot will light up down there. It's going to make that noise, too. It's going to say boop, because, you know, anything that works good makes that noise. All right, and now the cool thing is now you have the 14 over here subtracting from the 1, and basically each time we do this, it's going to keep subtracting 1 more from the loop, because it's like kind of a persistent check on itself, okay? The item that wasn't there is going to go back in there and push this guy back to 15, but because this guy's at a 1 now at that point, because of how the delay works here and magic stuff, it now subtracts into the side over here, and you get a 14, and then basically every time we press this button now, send a signal here, we get 1 piston that's going to extend. Again, I think you get the idea, right? And the cool thing on top of that now is we got this little button here, is that when we're done and we want to reset this farm, basically just press this, and they all retract and go back to their default position here. Really cool stuff, really a fairly cheap way of doing this, I think. Much better than the hopper chain. So all we need now is a way to take this guy. He's going to obviously only output 15, a signal like the 15 down to right around here or so. So we're going to need a couple of these systems, like one there and one here, and we're going to have to chain them together so that when one gets down to maximum, the next one will pick it up and send it down the next 15, and then of course we're going to have like 3 or so or 2 at the end here, where just like one little system's going to do the last little bits and bobs there. So yeah, let's make that happen right about now. And we're done, just like that. Poof, magic happens. It's amazing, it's amazing. There's like redstone here and stuff with like, there's like torches and some repeaters and more dust and magic sauce and a little bit of happiness, and everything just works great. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details. We're not going to that level here, okay? But it works great now. I have a on-demand incrementer 0 through 32, which is pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to get to that in a second. I want to start getting the holding areas for my villagers, because my goal here is I want to be able to do this in the live stream tomorrow, is get all the villagers going, which is going to be a nightmare, but should be interesting to say the least. So here's a little bit of the magic of what happens when the villages are reforming here. Okay, so there's basically 3 positions I need to get some key villagers in. There's villagers that detect all those doors over here, or I should say 1 villager that detects all those doors over there, and then another one that detects all these doors over here. And then there's a whole buttload of mics that sit over there, and they're just there just because we need numbers to spawn golems and stuff, which hopefully I'll cover later if I remember correctly. I don't know, we'll see. But for these key guys, the one over there and the one over here, I basically, like I said, need 3 positions. I need a very much a down position where they can't see any of the doors. And when I see, I'm talking about before how I said the villagers detect doors around them. I lower them down so they can't see any of the doors there, okay? Then at phase 1, where we're doing the top doors first, so those top doors are all linking up with the top doors here, we have a position where the villager is kind of like way up there, so he can just see the top doors. That's how we can open up these pistons here and only register the top doors at a time, because obviously open up these pistons here is going to expose all the doors below it, both layers. But we rely on the fact that the villagers can only see 4 blocks below them to register doors. So that's what we do over there, is we get them up way high, so we just do the first level. And then when we hit phase 2, after we go through the whole 32 villages down that line, we basically reset and do the whole thing again for the bottom layer, but this time lower that villager down a little bit so now he can see the bottom doors as well. So what we need is a way to toggle the villager between those 3 locations. And I didn't really want to get into minecarts and stuff. I don't know, they always feel clunky to me. So doing a little poking around, and I discovered something that I thought was really... it blew my mind. It maybe is like common knowledge to you guys, but check it out, okay? I got a boat and I got an armor stand, okay? The armor stand is going to represent Bob the villager, okay? He's a villager, pretend. His arms are a little challenged right now, and his head's a little bit elsewhere, but pretend he's a villager, okay? Now over here, we got a little boat. Boaty McBoatface there, okay? Now, if I press these guys, I expected them to go to the same height, but they do not, okay? If that was a villager, he goes to that height. Right? Pretty much follows that and does the little bouncy bounce thing and everything. But he kind of goes up like 6 blocks or so, just like a right? You know, interesting, but not super high. Then you get the boat over here, okay? So the boat does a little something different. Boop. The boat goes like 100 yards up in the air. I'm thinking it's because the rate at which a boat falls is much lower. Like, you guys know, if you get in a boat and drive it off the cliff here, you don't just plummet, you kind of float down. And I think that's why the boat goes higher, because there's less of a acceleration, I guess, pulling it down. Interesting stuff. But what that gets us is, if we put a villager in the boat, we can get him a lot higher and get a lot higher variance between the bottom and the top, which is exactly what we need. So I need to build a villager cage, like right off the side of here, and one off the other side, that's going to hold a villager in a boat, and it's going to have like a 3-tier system, right? Like when I reset it, it's down at the bottom, then it goes up to the top, and then it falls down. And I'm going to do that with fence gates. So when he springs up, there's going to be 2 fence gates that open up, 1, 2, and he's going to go through the fence gates because they don't have a colliding bounding volume, and then he's going to fall down and land on top of that fence gate. And then later on, when phase 2 starts, and we want to do the bottom doors, that top fence gate is just going to go tick, tick, and open up just enough for him to fall to the bottom fence gate. You know what? Let me build it, and I'll show you, and it hopefully will make sense. Oh, I love this thing. I'm having so much fun here. This is the official boat launchinator thing here. Where you can see I got the double gates here, okay? This is what I was talking about. There's one there, one here. Now, these will be open when this line block pushes the boat up, and the boat's going to fly up to like right about my eye height right now. And just as it clears this one, whoa, hey now, getting vicious. The boat's going to pop up here and clear this gate here. As soon as it does, bam, that's going to close, and the boat will then rest right on top of this. And I'll probably, like, you know, do a little bit more magic sauce like this, just to enclose it here a little bit. That's what these torches are going to be here for. I just got them in now. Obviously, they're not wired up. But the boat will then rest on top of the gate there and be in position now up here where he can only register the top doors, okay? And then when phase 2 happens and we finish the first 32 doors, this is just going to go pop, pop, and bounce down, and then the boat is the villager in the boat is going to fall down to that gate, and now he can see the doors below it. And then when we reset the whole system, they all open up and he goes all the way back down. Pretty cool stuff. So let me just make sure this is actually going to work here. Ow. Face plant. Let's see if we do this. Okay. And get in the boat. Right. This is the part. It's a little 2x2 holding area here. No. No. Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's no problem at all. What do you mean? No. Everything's fine. Alright, can we get in this thing again? See if I can drive this stupid thing. You need to go into that corner over there. Okay, because that is right below the fence gate. Okay, good. That's totally what I... What? Oh, now you're just trolling me. Now you're just trolling me. Get in the corner one more time. Okay. Shift. Okay, let me get out of here now with some of... Let's see, if I pearl right, I could just do that. Nope. How about up there? How about we'll do that and fall down? No, you're just not gonna... How about there? One more time. There we go. Excellent. Okay, the boat is... Now, of course, the boat's not in the right position. I give up. Anyway, when I hit this button... Yeah, the boat would shoot up there. Stupid boat, I hate you. Alrighty, guys, that is unfortunately all I got time for today. We made some pretty good progress here. We're actually a lot farther along than you think. A lot of this hard part is done. The major structure is done. There's a little bit of redstone. Well, a lot of bit of redstone left. And some... Obviously, like, villagers need to be put in here into, like, little satellite positions, and one needs to be put out there on a piston, and I need to get the guys in the boats here and stuff, and I need to get a bunch of them over right here, like right there, all that stuff. I'm hoping to do that in a live stream tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean today, if you're watching this, maybe, kind of, sort of. We'll see. I may have some fun with that if you want to stop by, if you catch this in time. I stream on beam.pro/Tango Tech. Check it out, check it out. I got a full schedule there, all that good stuff. And we'll have some fun there. And then next time I also want to land this thing. Okay. I want to, I'm going to bring you guys into my creative world where I design this thing. Because there I have what's called the villager marker mod. I don't know if you guys have heard about it before. It's a really, like, seriously cool way where you can visualize villages with lines and spheres and everything. You can really see how they're moving around. And I want to use that to explain how this thing all works and how the villages are moved and pulled into position and then overlapped and everything. That stuff's going to blow your mind if you haven't seen that kind of thing before. It's really cool. So the goal is next episode this thing is working and iron is dropping down here. We have a lot to do, obviously a full storage room. We got so much to do here, but guys, let me know. You know, this thing is going to need a name. I'd say wait till we're done, and then we can deluge me with the comments, and I will pick one of them. We're gonna need a name for it, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I will see you guys next time. Let me know what you think about the extra little details about villager science and stuff. Is it too much, too little? You know, I can keep it up next episode because I kind of like doing it. But if everybody hates it, please let me know, and I will. I'll put the squash on it. All right. But that's gonna do it for today. Until next time, guys. I will see you later. Tango out.